Hi, this is Cheryl Gallant, your Conservative Member of Parliament for the cattle grazing riding of Renfrew-Nipissing-Pembroke. The party's over, but the hangover has just begun. Champagne socialists and hardcore communists from around the world have returned home from their annual climate cult synod. Canada's Green Jesus returned with the climate cult's latest plan to increase the cost of food. Trudeau and Jibo are taking a close-up look at the backside of cows and the gas they pass. Methane is a carbon-based molecule, a gas. It's referred to as natural gas. Anyone who uses gas to heat their homes knows it's already subject to the carbon tax. People have been sending me their bills to show how not only has the price of natural gas increased, but the tripling of the carbon tax gives the effect that their overall bills have doubled. There's no word yet on applying a methane tax to heating bills. Currently, the regulations are just targeting the meat you eat. Remember, these elitists who spent 2 sumptuous weeks dining on caviar and champagne think they know what's best for us. They have moved to censor what we can see and hear on the internet. They're passing a law, C-21, which eventually will lead to Canadians losing the means to provide meat on our tables. These methane rules cover what the cows can and cannot eat. Free-range, grass-fed cows are out. Growth hormones and fat supplements are in. This is an Ottawa knows best approach. The climate communists believe they know more about raising cattle than the farmers who've been doing it in the Ottawa Valley for over 200 years. Local farming family, the Clayseys near Cobden, have been generating power using the methane from their dairy cattle. 2 brothers and their families emigrated from Switzerland and brought the idea of methane digesters with them. They've been feeding into the grid for over 20 years now. In fact, now it's the sons of the 2 brothers who made it to Canada running the dairy operation. We have a whole lot more dairy farmers in Canada, and we're going to need a lot more electricity as the proud socialists continue choking off our traditional fuel supplies. When cows no longer produce milk, they're used for meat. The sale of the cows for meat provides the money to buy more cattle and modernize dairy operations. Methane is a natural product in the cycle of life on our planet. Only people who are against life on planet Earth would want to tax it. One of the main points of debate, the recent climate summit, was about the timeline to phase out fossil fuels. In the end, delegates reached a compromise. Rather than phase out the oil and gas industry, the world's countries agreed to, quote, transition away from oil and gas in the energy sector to achieve net zero by 2050, end quote. Naturally, the CBC is gushing that this is an historic deal, but comments by the climate communists reveal their true agenda. The green cult is angry about the net zero part. The climate fascists said they were afraid that this would allow countries to continue using oil and gas so long as carbon emissions were captured. This proves they don't care about reducing carbon emissions. It's all about phasing out capitalism and the free market. They want complete control over the economy. They want to herd us into pens, tell us what to eat, when to travel, and who is acceptable. That's what the Church of Climate Socialism really wants. But the Earth Mother worshipping cultists weren't the only ones there. Well, I would bet people like the minister Guilbeault would happily wear a sackcloth and live in poverty if he thought it would please Gaia. I don't think Justin or Jagmeet are ready to give up the good life. They are the climate con men. Their only god is the almighty dollar. The examples go back decades, from the former president of the Liberal Party running a solar company while Dalton McGuinty was passing massive subsidies for solar farms, to the outright corruption that took place at the Sustainable Technology Development Corporation. Recently, the disgraced former chair of the board of directors faced tough questions at committee. Well, she did, until she ran away. Take a look.
I understand business. I've been on boards for almost 30 years. I take responsibility and governance very seriously. I am chair of a governance committee of a major company in Canada. I understand.
According to the whistleblower, the chair directed hundreds of thousands of dollars to her own company. Then she tried to direct $2 million from the Sustainable Technology Development Corporation to a non-profit organization named after her. When the staff pointed out this organization didn't qualify, she directed the staff to apply for other government grants on her behalf. In the end, the staff found at this Crown Corporation managed to secure over $5 million from 4 different government departments for the chair. According to the whistleblower, half the board members were directing money to their own companies. This kind of systemic corruption is what you get under Liberal governments. This prime minister is not worth the cost. Live from Ottawa, this is Cheryl Gallant.